Hey guys, Barrett here with Spec of Tech. Welcome to the channel. Today's just a quick video. I just want to talk to you guys about the reference system that I'm building, which is sort of a channel update. I've been on quite the audio journey for the last several years. I've been changing out my personal audio equipment for my home theater and 2-channel hybrid setup pretty consistently and quite quickly, I may add. I've gone from some uber budget-friendly Fluent speakers to some not so budget-friendly speakers like the Legacy Focus SE Tower speakers. Don't get me wrong, I truly do enjoy reviewing cool new gear, and even more so, I enjoy sharing my experiences with all of you guys. I also recognize that I'm truly blessed to have the opportunity to experience all of this amazing gear in my own space, but it's time for me to settle down, at least with my own equipment upgrades. I will continue to review equipment that is sent to me for review, but I want to be done with changing out my own equipment, at least be done with the current rate at which it gets changed out, which is way too quickly. That doesn't mean that I'll never upgrade or change out equipment ever again, but I want it to happen at a more realistic pace and for a more realistic reason. Right now, I try to upgrade and change out gear as much as possible to help get equipment for reviews on the channel, but that was never sustainable, and I knew that from the start. I did continue to do it for as long as I could, but I just don't have the time or the funds to continue doing that. It does cost me a significant amount of money in many cases because I lose money on a lot of the sales. I'm usually lucky to break even at best, but I do rarely make money on the sales. So I've decided to build myself a reference system, something that'll stick around a little longer because each piece will be chosen by me for me. It won't be chosen for the purpose of review. Of course, I will review the equipment, but I'm specifically choosing equipment that I want for my system to be referenced, and it has nothing to do with just buying it to review it and sell it. So it's going to be something that I'm going to keep. This will also help me when reviewing other gear like amplifiers and speakers because my reference system won't be constantly changing and leaving me wondering if the differences that I'm hearing is the change in my gear or the equipment that I'm reviewing. Some of you have actually noticed that I've been selling off a lot of my gear, and that usually is a telltale sign that there's an upgrade coming. So let's take a walk around the room and talk about what has changed, what's coming, and whether or not I've decided on my reference speakers. First of all, you will notice that I've moved on from the Sonus Faber Sonetto speakers. They are a wonderful sounding and a beautiful looking speaker, but they do have some coloration or some character to their sound. For a reference system, I wanted things to be as neutral and true to source as possible. That's going to help me in the future with reviews because it's going to be easier for me to hear if a piece of equipment I'm listening to is either colored or neutral based on a comparison to my neutral reference system. I'm currently running what I call a Franken bookshelf system. I'm using the JTR 110 HTs as my front, left, and right speakers, and they're also on phantom center duty for now. For side surrounds, I'm using the Revel S16 bookshelf speakers. I need shallow speakers to fit on this ledge, and these Revels do the job very nicely. For rear surrounds, I'm using the Polk R200 bookshelf speakers, which are an excellent budget choice. And for my heights, I'm still running the Klipsch AW650 outdoor speakers. I don't currently have any plans for upgrading those simply because they have that built-in bracket that makes it easy for me to mount them to my ceiling. And also I'm quite pleased with the performance of them for height channels as well. But who knows what the future will bring. I may upgrade them as well. You may have also noticed that I don't have the JTR Captivator 2400 subwoofers. They have been sold, and I'm currently on the hunt for some reference subwoofers. Not that the Cap 2400s aren't a reference subwoofer. They absolutely are. I just may want to go with something a bit bigger or go with dual 18-inch driver units. But the hunt is on for subwoofers, which is one of my favorite hunts to be on. And I know full well that I'm going to get asked down in the comments below about which speakers I've chosen for my reference speakers. So what I will say is this: I have chosen my reference speakers and I have ordered them. I hope to see them in the first quarter of 2024. The turnaround is supposed to be 4 months. Let's hope that's accurate. And if it is accurate, then I'll see them in the beginning of January. I have to keep something for a surprise, so you'll have to stay tuned on the channel to see what I've chosen. But let me say this: they are one of the most beautiful looking speakers on the market, at least in my opinion. I've never owned this particular model of speaker before, but I have owned speakers from this brand before. So there's a pretty big hint. So besides all of that, I have actually completed some of the upgrades for my reference system. First of all, the amplifier powering my front stage has been upgraded. The purchase was funded by selling some of my other amplifiers, and I also saved some of my own money, knowing full well that I wanted this amplifier in the future. The amp that I went with is the Legacy IV3 amplifier, and it's just a beast of an amp that uses Ice Power Class D modules that are putting out 660 watts per channel into 4 ohms for all 3 of the channels, and it is sonically neutral, and it is absolutely dead silent when connected to my speakers, and it's probably one of the best looking amplifiers on the market, at least in my opinion. For me personally, audio is of course very important. The sound of it is very important, but looks are also important to me, If these pieces of equipment will be sticking around long term, I just want them to look as good as they sound. Another piece of equipment that I've decided on is the Anthem AVM90. I did have one of these in the past, but I sold it to try some units with Dirac, like the Emotiva RMC1L and the Arkham AV41. But I quickly realized that the Anthem AVM90 is just the unit for me. Not only does it sound absolutely amazing, it operates smoothly and has a very intuitive web UI, not to mention that Anthem room correction is still one of the best in the business, and it's only getting better with time. And regarding the AVM90, I want to say a special thank you to Base Electronics here in Calgary for helping me out get this unit and putting up with my processor shenanigans, only for me to come back to them and ask for another AVM90. But John has just been an absolutely amazing manager to deal with. Anyone in Calgary should be getting their Paradigm and Anthem products from Base Electronics. And by the way, this video isn't sponsored. I just like to shout out great audio businesses that treat their customers well, and Base Electronics is one of those. But moving along, there are 3 more pieces that have won me over and will be part of my reference system. The first of which is video related, and that's the Zedu UHD 5000 media player. I wanted to digitize my movie collection for convenience, so I talked with my buddy Tony, who has a YouTube channel called Build Montage, but he has some great videos about the Zedu, and those videos are ultimately why I decided to go with that brand. Well, that reason and my friend Amir over at Summit Hi-Fi is the US distributor for Zedu products, so he had nothing but good things to say about them as well, so that really did help twist my rubber arm. But I do have to say that the Zedu has amazing video quality. Colors and HDR are just impeccable on this unit. One of the other units that I chose for my reference system is the Eversolo DPM A6 Master Edition music streamer. I'm actually currently working on the review video for that streamer, and whether or not it sounds better than my Anthem AVM90 processor for music, that video will be released very soon. I'll link it in the top right hand corner of this video once it's complete, or you can just go check and see if it's been released on my channel. And lastly, to accompany the Eversolo streamer, I also got the Eversolo Z8 DAC. These pieces were to help me with 2-channel reviews since they are neutral and offer a step up in 2-channel sound quality over something like a processor or an AVR. So far, these are all the upgrades that I've made. I will do a home theater tour once all of the upgrades have arrived. I've dropped links for all the equipment I've talked about down in the description below if you'd like to check them out. If you want to stay updated on the progress of my reference system, make sure to subscribe, tick the bell icon if you do, and please take just one short second to hit that like button. I always do appreciate it, guys. Remember to actually enjoy your systems. Don't just upgrade them. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.